Hello, I am Allison and I play trombone, but today we're not playing trombone, we're opening Pokemon cards. So today I have a 6-pack. I have 4 packs from Crown Zenith. Cool. And then I have 2 other packs here. I have one from Silver Tempest and I have one from Brilliant Stars. I have no idea what these collections are. All I know is that if I got one from a different collection, then I would not be getting duplicates. So I decided to go for these. And today's plan is to go through these cards and figure out what they are, and then I'm going to be judging the Pokemon and the trainer. And I think today's metric is going to be pretty fun. I'm going to judge them on how good of a hotel guest they would be. You've stayed in hotels, you know what those are, right? So we're gonna see how these Pokemon and or trainers would do if they also stayed in a hotel as a guest. Okay, I learned this last time that I went way too slow, I think, so I'm gonna try to pick up the pace a little bit faster today with the first pack, even though this is Crown Zenith. I'm gonna try to be speedy about this. So let's go ahead and get our first pack opened. Here we go. She brought scissors. Watch me cut all the cards just right across the top. That would just be absolutely horrible. Oh yeah, I also got a mat. I don't know if you noticed this mat. It's a mat and it's got this weird girl on it. I did not want this mat. I just kind of sort of ended up with this mat. All right. Ooh, okay. I knew this one. Pack 1 begins with Cherubi, who is a little cherry Paraby. That happened in real time. Cherubi, I think, would be a pretty decent hotel guest. I do think that Cherubi would be very kind and considerate. I do, however, think that Cherubi also probably loses ripeness very quickly and probably leaks everywhere, and we all know how hard it is to get cherry stains out. So with all that, I would say that it started as like a 9 out of 10, but because of the stains and like unintentional stuff, even though it's not intentional, it would definitely be a problem. So I would probably give Cherubi maybe a 6 out of 10, maybe 6 or 7. Let's go 6 though, 6 out of 10, Cherubi. Our next hotel guest is Execute. Oh, look at this art. Oh, that's fantastic. Wait, look at it. Wait, look at it. Look at it. Look at that. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, so Execute, all right. Here's my thing with Execute. So we have a lot of different emotions going on with Execute. Execute is also like 7 guests in one. I don't care what you think. It's a bunch of them in one. They're also eggs. So here's my thought. They're gonna get in a hotel and they are going to party it up. They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna crack unintentionally. They're gonna spill their yolk all over the place. Super hard to get out. They're gonna be noisy and angry and they're gonna cry. They're gonna do a lot of things. So for me, I'm gonna give Execute a 2 out of 10. I think a 2. I think they may not mean to party that hard, but just the fact is they're partiers, they're gonna ruin the room, they're eggs, they're gonna get smelly. 2 out of 10 is my vote, Execute. Our next hotel guest is Emolga. I love that I know these. This is nice. Okay, so Emolga, also, oh, look at the art. Look at the art, it's so cute. So Emolga is really cute. I think the only thing that would happen with Emolga in a hotel is if they accidentally maybe like blew out the generators or something by accidentally getting too excited. Emolga does look pretty excited in this picture too, so I don't know how likely it would be that that would happen, but if it did happen, it would be a really big problem. So with that in mind, I'm gonna give Emolga a 7 out of 10 because it's very unlikely this would happen. I do think Emolga would be a great guest, but I do think that if just by happenstance it got too excited about anything, the hotel would be absolutely screwed. So 7 out of 10. Our next hotel guest is Cricketoo. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I love this so much, because Cricketoo is basically singing karaoke right now, which is exactly what I would do. Okay, that's not exactly, well, it kind of is, because there's like little music notes. See, there's music notes and there's a little audience and it's night and beautiful. Look at that. That is amazing. That is amazing. Wow. Cricketoo is singing karaoke. And while I do think that in the karaoke area of the hotel, I think that would be super awesome. So we're starting at a good like 8. This is under the assumption that Cricketune can sing well. If Cricketune cannot sing well, that's gonna bump down to like at least a 4. And then if Cricketune is going to continue to sing during the night, like a lot of bugs do, that would bump you down to like a 3. But for a lot of people in the summer, myself included, lying in bed and listening to the bugs chirp in the woods and sing to each other is really soothing. So this is a hard one. I'm gonna give Cricketune a 5, right in the middle. And that's because if you are into the sounds of bugs being very, you know, soothing in the night, I think it would be great. If you don't like that, you will hate Cricketune a lot. And it's really hard to tell which way it'll go. So let's give Cricketune a 5. And this art is amazing. Next hotel guest is Absol. Oh, I know this one. Yeah, Absol. Absol looks like a weird cocoon thing. It's weird. Absol, I honestly feel like Absol would be like a 9 out of 10. And it's because I think Absol would just mind its own business and just be in its room and be moody and not talk to anyone or do anything at all until it's time to leave, and then they would just leave quietly. I don't know, I think it would be very uneventful, and I'm pretty sure that's what the hotel wants. I only say 9 out of 10 because Absol does look pretty moody, and it could be that if Absol just happens to be in a bad mood or it's got that big blade thing, I mean, it has potential for disaster, but given what I see here, it doesn't seem very likely. So I'm gonna give Absol a 9 out of 10, just chills in the room the whole time. Next we have Krokorok. Krokorok is a rock of croc in a jock strap. Okay, no, that didn't work at all. Okay, Krokorok seems fine. I do think the Krokorok looks pretty angry. I do think the Krokorok looks like he would like a lot of mud and like being dirty for some reason. I'm sorry if that's offensive. That's just what I'm feeling. He does bite and dredge things up, and I don't think that's very good for hotels. I'm gonna give Krokorok a 3 out of 10. Just 3. I don't know why. It's just 3. That's what I'm feeling. 3 out of 10. Our next hotel guest is Luxio, and it's a different art than the ones we got before. Oh, it's cuddly. That is very cute. Oh, look at him. Okay, so I think that he has the same kind of deal as Emolga. I don't think it's very likely. I do think that an accident with the electricity will kill the hotel. I do think he looks a little mischievous here though. So I do believe I gave Emolga a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna have to give Lucio a little bit lower. Or Luxio, whatever. I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. I think he's polite enough. I think that he's not really that offensive. I don't think that, the hotel hasn't seen worse. It's unlikely that an electronic incident would happen, but I do think he's a bit mischievous, and I think that he might be just the annoying child that nobody wants. So I'm just gonna say 6. Yeah. Our next guest is Friends and Hisui. We're just gonna, and I actually know some of these from my previous cards. Here's a gaggle of teens, 1 out of 10. They suck. Gaggles of teens are the worst. They're gonna be jerks. I don't like them. 1 out of 10. Doesn't matter that I was a teen once. I don't care because now that I'm not one, I can hate teens forever. All right, and our next guest is Young Goose. Young Goose, that's nice. Young Goose looks really, 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 really mad. Look at these teeth. Young Goose is out to F up your shiz. And I don't care for that. Hotel guests shouldn't F up anyone's shiz. He's got sharp fangs. I think he has a temper. I think he could easily shred all of the bedding, which is not washable after that. I think that would be a really big problem for the room. I could definitely see him Tasmanian deviling everywhere and just ruining everything. And I'm gonna give him a 1 out of 10 because I think that after seeing what after seeing what ferrets do and how they wreak havoc on homes, regardless of how cute they are, I think this guy would wreak havoc. 1 out of 10. I also say that with a badge of pride, by the way. 1 out of 10 for like wrecking the hotel. It's a cool thing. We have a Psychic Energy. Pack number 2, pack number 2, pack number 2. That Cricketune was dope. I mean, he is dope. I still own him, so there's that. Our first guest of pack number 2 is Upside Down. Purloin. Pierlon. That's the French name. Pierlon. It probably means something bad in French. Sorry. Okay, Okay, well, this one is already laying on a laptop. It's very cute though. I love this art. Already laying on a laptop, so that's not a good sign. Would disrupt anything any other guests are doing, would absolutely knock things off of shelves, would get their noses to where they don't belong. Can you tell I own a cat? 1 out of 10. I love cats, but they are really annoying when you don't want any of your stuff to be messed with. 1 out of 10. Very cute though. Next guest is Grubbin. Grubbin, ew. Okay, well, Grubbin, I mean, I don't know. Grubbin is a grub. It just sits there and grubs. Okay, if it's like a silky grub, like a silkworm, I feel like it would be able to maybe like mess up the room. If it built a cocoon or something, that would be kind of inconvenient though. That knocks it down a couple pegs. Let's give it a 7 out of 10. It's probably inoffensive. It's not gonna do a whole lot, but if it made a cocoon or something or was like making silk, that would be annoying to clean up. So I'm gonna give Grubbin a 7. Our next guest is Scrap. Whoa, this art is dope. Whoa, that is so weird. Oh, he looks so weird, look. Oh, he's in there, weird. He looks so mad. Okay, Scrap is gonna be, I think, a 6 out of 10. Squirrel would probably be in an aquarium, and that's nice because you know that being in an aquarium, it's unlikely he can get out and ruin other things. However, he would be in an aquarium, and as a guest, that means that the staff would have to consistently check on him, or at least do a good checkup at least a couple of times a day, and that would be kind of annoying. They have things to do. They don't have to do that for other guests. So I'm gonna give Squirrel a 6 out of 10. Wouldn't cause a fuss, but also just by the sheer nature of it, I think that staff wouldn't want to deal with it. So 6 out of 10. Our next guest is Helioptile. 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 Okay, so we got some lightning bolts here, and we have static shock, rear kick. This is gonna be exactly the same, I think, as a mole guy. I think it's gonna be a 7. Not offensive, but electricity messes up the hotel. 7 out of 10. All right, our next guest is an energy card. Oh my gosh, look at that, y'all. It's a foil energy. I won't chuck this one, but only because it's foil. Count your lucky stars. All right, and our next guest is Luxray. Oh, and Luxray's really pretty too. Look at Luxray. Oh, that's awesome. Luxray is the same thing, I think. I think Luxray gets, honestly, I'm gonna say Luxray gets a 5 out of 10, and that's only because Luxray is bigger now. Luxray has more claws, more teeth, more angst, obviously. Angsty creatures with claws and teeth, it's never a good thing for hotels. It's just not good. He has control, hopefully, to where he might not go crazy, but he just never, it just seems like he'd be annoying to deal with. Shedding, all that, 5 out of 10. Our next guest is another energy card. Good deal, that means I could throw it. Okay, shoes, I don't care. Our next guest is Shaman. Oh, great, this is one from the pack that I have later on. That's nice. Shaman seems pretty fine. Looks a little sneaky though, doesn't it? We're gonna give Shaman an 8 out of 10. I think Shaman is gonna be the kind of guest that tries to be a little bit mischievous and do something snarky, but because Shaman is so cute and harmless, it wouldn't work. And so it would just make all the hotel staff go, oh, and it would be like a minor inconvenience, but he's just so cute that they'd be like, oh, it's okay. And then Shaman would be so upset that it didn't work. That's how I feel. 8 out of 10. All right, our next guest in our weird Pokemon hotel is Friends in Hisui. 1, perfect. And our last one is upside down. Slandit. That's the Pokemon that like says bad things about people when they're not true. Slandit, absolutely 1 out of 10. This thing looks so sneaky and suspicious and not honest. This thing is just gonna go through all the rooms and steal all the things. It's gonna be terrible. You're gonna wake up and all your stuff's gonna be gone. 1 out of 10. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. 0 out of 10. 0. I don't want Salandit stealing my stuff. Now, if I have made some false assumptions about Salandit based on its appearance, I am truly sorry. I really shouldn't judge by appearance. And if Salandit is in fact a very upstanding, honest citizen, please tell me in the comments. Prove me wrong. I would like to be proven wrong on that 0. Pack number 3. Who is our first guest? It is Pawnyard. Aww. Wait a minute. Aww. It's like a claymation one. Aww, it's so cute. Okay, so I think, okay, here's what I think. I think that this guy looks pretty harmless. harmless for the most part. It can pierce, he's got a big blade on his head, but for the most part looks pretty honest. Now I think this is because he's got this like samurai helmet thing going on, so it just makes me think he has things like honor and duty and junk like that. So I feel like he has the potential to do not great things, but I feel like he probably wouldn't of his own accord. I feel like he would go to the hotel and he would just treat it like it should, and he would leave and he would keep his composure and everything. I'm gonna give Poniard, I think I'm gonna give him our very first 10 out of 10. I don't know why, I think he would just mind his own business and he would just be super calm and collected the whole time about it, and then he would just leave. 10 out of 10 for Poniard, yeah. All right, our next hotel guest is Whalmer. Well, I can tell you right now that Whalmer is not a very practical hotel guest, as he is the size of the hotel. So that's a whole problem in and of itself, but let's pretend that he's small enough to be in a hotel. Basically, you put him in a bathtub and then you leave him alone. You know, I mean, that seems pretty straightforward. He has a really nice, happy smile, and he looks like he just wants to give you a hug and make you happy. I do feel like he might be so willing to make you happy that because of his sort of awkward size, maybe he might do something that, while well-meaning, might cover your room in lots of water or just ruin stuff unintentionally, even as sweet as he is. So I'm gonna give Whalmer, like, I don't wanna do this. I'm gonna give Whalmer a 4. I'm gonna give Whalmer a 4, only because of Whalmer's size. And again, this is just assuming Whalmer even fits in a bathtub, which he doesn't. So it should be a 0, but I'm gonna give him a 4, just because I know he's just trying to do the right thing, and it's just unfortunate circumstance. You know, it's not his fault he doesn't fit in the hotel. 4 out of 10. Our next hotel guest is a corphish. Corhish. It's a corhish. You see? He's in the drum corps. That's pronounced corhish. All right, so I'm gonna give this corfish, I think. Corfish, pretty much everything Whalmer couldn't do, Corfish can do. You can just fit him in the tub. Better yet, put him in the sink and just leave him there and he'll be happy. I feel that's pretty non-offensive, but he does have water gun. If he gets moody or does something weird or feels startled, he's gonna get water on stuff, and that's not really great. So I'm gonna give Corfish a 6 out of 10, mostly because he can get water places and that's not good, but the other reason is because he's taking up your sink, so that's not great either, but he's not really that offensive, so 6 out of 10 for Corfish. Our next guest is, Oddish. Also, I gotta keep these a little bit more straight. I think I'm spoiling myself, maybe. All right, Oddish. Oddish is awesome. I love Oddish, and this art is very cute. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. This art is very cute. Oddish, I think, Oddish is pretty non-offensive. Oddish would try to do the right thing, but I'm feeling a 4 out of 10 just immediately. And scratch that. I'm feeling 3 out of 10. And the reason why I'm feeling a 3 out of 10 is because Oddish needs things like sunlight and water and dirt. And hotels really don't like any of those things, really, unless the water is in a sink, and it really doesn't like the other stuff. So I'm gonna give Oddish a 3 out of 10, only because just by its nature, I feel it would be kind of dirty for a hotel, and I think the staff just wouldn't like it. 3. Our next hotel guest is Dusclops. Oh, it's our very first reverse holo today, actually. Dusclops is minus 100 out of 10. I don't want that in the hotel. It's haunted. No, no, no. Minus 100. Minus 100 next. Next one is Luxray. We already determined. But, wait a minute now. No. It's the other Lux. Okay, I think we kind of have determined this, but it's a different art, and it's a very cute art. Look at it. Ooh. Okay, I believe I gave this Luxray like a 5 or 4 out of 10. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. And that's just because this one is being sweet and cute, and it's just so cute. 7 out of 10. And our next guest is an energy. Our next guest is a Graveler. Whoa. Graveler, pretty much, yeah, 1. Absolutely a 1. It's full of gravel. It's gonna get in your shoes. It's gonna get in the sheets. It's gonna get everywhere. It's not his fault. He's polite enough. I think he's just prone to goofing around, kind of punching, I think he would goof around and not mean to, but there would be gravel everywhere. 1 out of 10. All right, our next guest is Salazzle. Okay, so Salazzle evolves from Salandit. Now, Salazzle is just a little bit too tricky, and this one also is on fire. But it doesn't look as sketchy though as Salandit, I will say. It's a little bit more epic, so I mean, I would say like, I'm gonna give it a 1 though, higher than 0, but still a 1 because it still looks very, very devious, and it is literally bathed in fire. And hotels, I've been told, hotels really don't like fire. I've been told they don't like that. So we're gonna give this one a 1 out of 10. And now we are on the very, very last Crown Zenith pack, and we haven't really gotten many duplicates, so this is really nice. So pack number 4 has a guest list comprising of these Pokemon. Boop. Sunkern. Oh, look at the little eyes. Oh, hello. You know, Sunkern's fine. It's a seed. I mean, it does need things like soil and water, though, and that is kind of annoying, but it's very cute, and it is smaller than an Oddish would be, I think. So I'm gonna give Sunkern like a, oh, I don't know, maybe like a 3 out of 10, I think. Maybe a 3. You know what? Maybe a 4. I'll give it a 4. Because it's small. Like, it's annoying, but it's small. So, and it's very cute. I think the staff will get over it. It's a 4. All right, our next guest is coughing. 1. You don't want any of that in your hotel. It's gross. Everyone can't breathe. It sucks. It's a 1. I'm sorry, coughing. Goodbye. Our next guest is Bidoof. Well, Bidoof's obviously a 10, right? Everyone loves Bidoof. But Bidoof chews on wood. That's not great because there's a lot of wood in hotels, or at least what they want you to think is wood. That's a problem. I'm gonna give Bidoof, because Bidoof would try to control itself. It would try to, but I do think it would probably fail. I would give Bidoof a 2 out of 10, I think. That's gonna spark some controversy, oh dear. But oh well, 2 out of 10, because I think as much as Bidoof would try not to, I do think Bidoof would chew up a lot of stuff, and that's stuff that you can't clean up. You have to replace everything, and that's bad. 2 out of 10. Our next guest in this very crazy hotel is Salandit again, so we'll just skip that one. Our next guest in this very crazy hotel is Ponyard, and we've already established that he is our 10 out of 10 guest, but now he's holographic. Ta-da! Our next guest is Friends and Hisui. Oh, is this the fancy one? Hang on. Oh, I think it's the fancy one. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think this is like the fancy Friends and Hisui. That's awesome. And I should know, I played this game, so this is actually kind of nice. I know these ones. Okay, well, these ones look slightly more friendly, and the art is really cool, so I'm gonna give them a 3 out of 10 this time. 3. They might be polite teenagers. They're still teenagers, but they're polite ones, sort of. They're doing their best, so I'm gonna give them the 3 just cause. All right, and our next card is an energy card. Next is a rare candy, but we do not care, so our next guest is Bisharp. Okay, well, Bisharp is the evolution of Ponyard, but Bisharp doesn't really look quite as, I don't know, he's not so serene as Ponyard, and he has more blades, and he looks angrier, and I don't really care much for that. I'm gonna give this one, I'm gonna give this one, I'm gonna bump this guy down to a 7. It's likely that he'll mind his own business, but there's just something about him. I'm like, he just seems like he would be difficult, you know? Not necessarily gonna break everything, but I just feel like something about him would be difficult, and I can't really put my finger on it. So I'm gonna give Bisharp a 7 out of 10. Probably not offensive, but has the potential to be somehow that I can't describe. All right, our next guest is Lunatone. Lunatone just hovers and does nothing. So 10 out of 10, really. I mean, just hovers and does nothing. That's pretty much every hotel staff's dream. So yeah, 10 out of 10. And our last card, our very last card from this Crown Zenith collection is Mr. Mime. Oh, and it's the Galarian Mr. Mime, of course. Well, Mr. Mime has a really, really nice point and a really, really not nice point. Mr. Mime can't really talk, or doesn't, And that's great because he's quiet and he's not offensive and he just is minding his own business, and that's totally great, and the staff love that. So that's almost a 10 out of 10. But Mr. Mime can't talk, and we might not understand his mime language, and that means if he ever needs something from anybody, he's going to be very, very difficult to deal with. Not, again, in an angry, mean way, but it'll be hard to communicate, and that's sort of weird. So I'm going to give him a 5. Because again, you just don't know which way it's gonna go. There's no way to tell. So I'm gonna give him right in the middle, 5 out of 10. So now we open Silver Tempest. So our very first Pokemon from this series going into our hotel is Spinda. Oh, you can't see. Spinda. There we go. Spinda's fine. Spinda's okay. Spinda is spinning and dizzy a lot. Probably would mean that in the hotel that Spinda gets dizzy and knocks things over, so that's probably not great. But other than that, not really that offensive. You can always pick stuff back up. Being in hotels recently, I haven't really seen that many things that would just shatter when you drop it, so I feel like it would be fine. I think Spinda would get, I'd say like a 6 out of 10. I feel like not so offensive to break things, but I do think that knocking everything down would be so annoying to have to, pick back up every time. So I think 6 out of 10. I think that it's not offensive enough and not like malicious enough to be worth a low score, but I do think that knocking stuff over all the time would make it kind of annoying for staff to have to put it back up. So I think 6 is an appropriate score. 6 out of 10. All right, our next guest in this crazy hotel is Phoebus. Okay. So Phoebus, I think, has sort of the same deal as the other guy we talked about. I believe I gave him, don't even remember now, I think I gave him like a 6 or a 4 out of 10. I think I'm gonna give Phoebus a 6. And if it was a 4, it's a 4. We'll find out, but I'll give him a 6. He's in an aquarium, he's doing his own thing, it's fine, but then the staff has to deal with having an aquarium, and that's annoying. So we're gonna give him a 6. All right, our next guest is Noibat. In the last episode, we saw Noivert, which I believe is the evolution of this little guy. He looks pretty nice. The very first and only word I can think of in terms of being a hotel guest looking at this Pokemon is guano. 1 out of 10. Very cute, very cute. So nice, but guano. 1 out of 10. Our next guest in our crazy hotel is Snorunt. Snorunt. This is interesting. Snorunt actually reminds me of, kind of looks like a tree in Japan in winter. They actually will tie up the branches with twine, and then they'll actually put stuff on it to like hold the branches up in winter. Or he kind of also looks like maybe like an old thatched roof on a really old house there in Japan, but I always think of holding up the branches of the trees when I see this guy. Snorunt seems fine. I mean, as far as I can tell, it does ice attacks, which is annoying, and it would melt. So that might be annoying. Mildew problems, right? Stuff like that. So I don't really want to give this a super duper high score. I feel like 6 is appropriate because, again, not offensive, not trying to do anything, but if something happened, mildew would be really annoying to deal with. Actually, you know what? 5. 5 out of 10 for that reason. Mildew is terrible. 5. All right, our next guest is, Sandile. Sandile is kind of the same as before. I think I gave its evolution like a 2 out of 10 or something. It's quite dirty. There's sand everywhere, and that's really, really annoying. We all know how much we don't like sand being coarse and getting everywhere. So, yeah, I'm gonna give Sandile a 3, but Sandile's very cute. Look at him. He's like, hello, I like sand. Will you play with me? Hi. Oh, but it's just sand in hotel, Sandile. We can't have that, my darling. No. So Sandile gets a 3. Sorry. Oh, so cute. I love this one. Our next guest in our very crazy hotel is Regenerative Energy. Reverse holo. You're lucky you're a holographic card. All right, well, after the energy comes Ariados. Looks to be a holo, I think, right? Well, I don't like spiders, but I especially do not like them making all sorts of mess in the hotel room. They would make a web, it would be sticky, there would be bugs everywhere. I would hate it. 0 out of 10, absolutely 0. Nope, 0, 0, 0. No offense to you, I just Can't deal with you, 0 out of 10. All right, our next card is an energy, yes! Our next guest is an Archon, hooray! Archon is a bird, and that's fine. I don't really care for this Pokemon's, fecal situation. That's gonna be a really, really big problem. But it is very cute, and it is trying. But still, I gotta give it a 1. Like, we can't deal with that sort of mess in the room, and I just don't trust it. Birds, it's not really great. Molting, and it's a mess. 1 out of 10. Our next guest is Clang. Clang is fine. I'm gonna assume that Clang's movement, as it is named Clang, would be very noisy, and that's super annoying. I would not want to hear that all night. But he's not like ruining the room. But as a neighbor, he would really suck. I would give him, I'm gonna give him a 2 out of 10. Because, yeah, I don't need that, Clang. Ugh. And our last guest of this pack is Claydol. A Claydol. That thing from Christmas time. It's a Claydol Pokemon. Okay. It's a clay doll. That's helpful. I mean, it's a doll. It is attacking though in this picture. I don't like that. It looks like it has absolutely no emotions at all. I don't really care for this one. So, and it is fighting type. That's not good. So it does like to fight. I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 10. I don't really think it's necessarily offensive in any way. It is fighting though, and it is fighting type, and it may like fighting. I don't know, it has no emotions. But it doesn't really look that horribly awful in terms of damage, maybe. So I'm gonna give it a 3. That's what I'm feeling, 3. And finally, we are on our last pack, which is Brilliant Stars, and that looks like this. Ta-da! Brilliant Stars, and there's our little buddy from before, right? Who's trying to be mischievous, but just can't hack it. So we're gonna open this pack, and we are gonna see what we get. The first guest of this final pack of this incredibly crazy Pokemon Hotel is Sock. Whoa, this art is very cool. Oh, it's like hand-drawn. Check it out. Oh, that's very pretty, look at that. Okay, so there's 2 ways you could think about this. Sock is very clearly fighting and just everywhere and is gonna like prove himself and all, but he's wearing a black belt. And that's important. He's wearing a black belt and he's got like his gi or whatever on, and that's important to note because that means that while he does have a lot of fighting skill and a lot of will to fight, he has a lot of discipline, right? He seems powerful, but he seems respectful and sensible, and for that reason, I'm gonna give him a 10. I really think that he could be in a hotel. I think he'd be fine. Our next guest in the crazy Pokemon Hotel is Cherubi, yay! And it's a different art than before. Oh, look at this art. Oh, so cute. Oh, look at that. Our next guest is, Riolu. Oh, okay. So this is that one's Lucario, right? That's Lucario's little buddy here, slash, devolution if you had that like Digimon, which is cool. What, you say something? Oh, okay. So it's fighting, it has low kick, he looks like he's raring for a fight, he looks very obnoxious like a child. Everyone hates this type of child. They make your experience worse. It's not the kid's fault, they're just kids, they don't have control, right? But for a guest who's just trying to get some sleep, I feel like this would be terrible. They would ruin things, they would break stuff. Kids can be really annoying. I'm gonna give him a 3. He doesn't know better, but it's still really annoying. 3. Our next hotel guest is Starly. Oh, Starly, you're a bird, and that means you have problems controlling your bowels. So you get a 1. A 1, but you're so cute. I love you. But a 1. 1 out of 10. Next on our guest list is Spiritomb. Minus 200 out of 10, just because I don't want to see any more spirits or tombs or anything in my hotel. Minus 200. This isn't Japan. This is not the Grudge. I do not want that in my life. Minus 200 out of 10. Our next guest is, Grimmsnarl. Ooh, I hate it, but I like it. Ooh, but I hate that in my hotel. This is minus 300 now, because now they have like corporeal forms, and they have intelligence, and they have emotions, and ooh, I don't like any of that. So minus 300 out of 10. No thanks, no thanks. All right, and next on our wild Pokemon hotel guest list is another Grim Snarl. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's funny. Just for randomness sake, I like that. That's hilarious. Cool. Well, he gets minus 400 because he's not even hollow. Minus 400. And energy, yay! Next we have Vibrava. Actually, we're gonna go we'll go Vibrava just because I don't want to say Vibrava anymore. Okay. This one, it's a bug. I don't like bugs. He buzzes around, but like in the room, he wouldn't really do anything. He would just buzz around until he dies from his 24-hour lifespan or leaves. So I'm like, hey, he's not really hurting anybody, but he's annoying and gross. 7 out of 10 for that reason. 7. Yeah. And our next guest is Tropius! Tropius! Oh, 30 out of 10. 30 just because he's Tropius. That's the only reason. Because he's Tropius. Yay! 30 out of 10. His beard is bananas. Literally. Okay, just kidding. He shouldn't be 30. Tropius would actually probably be a pretty low score. He's pretty big and annoying, and he sheds leaves and banana peels and everything. Honestly, he'd probably be more like a 2. So we're going to give him a 2 out of 10 because I'm trying to be very fair and objective. Sorry, Tropius. You were awesome before, but you're 2 out of 10 now. And you're another kind of card. You're different. Cool. All right. I believe that this is our very last guest of the hotel today. Let's see who it is. It is Claydol again, but it's a different illustration. It's, wow, this one's even worse actually. This one is like utter chaos, like burning down the city chaos, and I don't like that. So this is minus 20 out of 10. I really, really don't think a hotel would look at a guest with this profile picture and be like, yes, they're going to come into our hotel and do us no harm. This is terrible. Minus 20 out of 10. That's awful. All right, well, that's it. You know, I'm really impressed actually at all these cards because I got the 4 Crown Zenith packs, and it's pretty amazing actually how many duplicates we did not get today. We actually got like almost all brand new cards. I think there were only a couple instances, right? Like these jerks, right? This happened one after the other. But besides this, I really feel like we didn't really get that many duplicates today. So that's actually kind of nice, yeah. And even if we did get the same Pokemon, we actually got a lot of different art, and that's why I'm doing this. I love the artwork, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. Yeah. All right, and the last thing we're gonna do is we're going to go over some of the higher ranked hotel guests so that whenever you open your very own crazy Pokemon hotel, you're gonna know exactly what kind of guests you're going to want. Here we go.
Luxie, I see your opportunity. Yeah, mold the rolling up into the city. Gotta take me there. Gotta rest up at the hotel. Pokémon Hotel. Shame in, shame on. Yeah, what you gonna do? Sitting there with the stare at helicopter too. Generate a slane, blow it up at the hotel. Pokémon Hotel. Mighty suckers here. So hold a 10 out of 10 at every hotel you'll be in. But it's hard with the party out at the hotel. Cool, calm, collected with a little shine. Getting fed, not his head enough to bet he'll resign. Oh my god, it's teens. It's teens, teens, please not teens. Teenagers are gonna ruin everything. Never register your credit card with the front desk.
Okay, I know that the Friends and Hisui card was not that highly ranked as a hotel guest, but it was one of the coolest cards I got today, and I had to put it in there somehow. Anyway, that's it for me. If you want to tell me which Pokemon here would actually be the best hotel guests, feel free to comment. If you want me to make more content like this, please comment. If you want to tell me that I have a weird shining light on my shirt, please comment. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Nah, we're not leaving yet. Look at this card one more time. Look at it. Look at that. Look at the rainbow foil. Look at the audience. Look at the night sky. Look at the musical notes. Look at it. Okay, bye.